Yeah, and welcome to Papastache 102. So you're a beginner looking how to get better at soloing, or you're intermediate and you're like, God, it's just I'm not going anywhere, or you're actually pretty freaking good and you still want to go somewhere. There's three things I think that can dramatically improve everybody's playing, no matter what your level. First is your timing in your solo. Breaking up the notes and how you play the notes, messing with the timing. If you're jamming with a jam track, how you syncopate with the drummer or the bass player or whatever, breaking up the timing so it's not monotonous. Two is call and response, right? You think of soloing like a paragraph or like a story, right? Each paragraph has a starting point, what the topic is, then they back up the topic, they finish with, maybe something different, getting you into the next paragraph. So call and response. Number three, the biggest one of all and the most easily applied, feel. Okay? And that can be something as a simple quarter note bend to the notes as you play them, or subtle vibrato, or a big, huge bend, that actually hurts you to play. And then the listener has no choice but to feel you. So let's go over those three things and make you a better guitar player today. If you like what you see, by the way, tell all your friends, spread the word about the channel. It's going crazy. You guys are amazing. Big freaking hug. Thank you. Let's zoom in for a closer look. All right, so check this out. Again, we're going to use three tips. So let's take, let's take rhythm first. So, say you're jamming over like, something like that. It should have been a minor chord. I played a major chord, but it happens. Unless you're playing jazz, then you can play whatever chord you want. Rhythm wise, in the beginning, you might be doing something like this because you're just you're getting familiar with scales and all that stuff, and so it might be something that's like, okay, so it's very one-dimensional in its rhythm. Okay, now different things apply. If we're playing over a drum groove or a jam track, we really want to listen to what the whole band is doing, because then we can kind of syncopate our rhythm in spots with the band, with the hits, with the kick, with the snare, and that adds a lot of impact, right? You're not just aimlessly wandering. It's not like, free-form poetry that's not, beholden to any sense of rhythm. It's actually locking in, and that's where a lot of the power is. But if you're just jamming, and your typical is, the quickest thing to do is to break it up, right? Don't be afraid not to play notes. Don't be afraid to hold notes. So, where it might be, that sort of thing, don't be afraid to. Right? Space out your notes. A quick thing in the beginning, if you're not super technically proficient, do a quicker hammer-on. Just work on that. Right? So instead of going, it's, right? So you got, okay, so right there, I broke up rhythm. I went, I don't know what I did, but I'll make up something. So we got, Right there, the rhythm was different. Dun, dun, bum, bum. Okay, so I spaced out. I had two different kinds of beats. Broke it up. Okay, so that's rhythm, right? You're messing around with how you approach the rhythm and the timing of your phrasing. Now, another super important thing is feel. And feel, it can be subtle, it can be dramatic. Generally, it's with vibrato and bending. Now, that's not, the exclusive, in this box is feel and it's bending and vibrato. That's not true, because you can hit notes in all sorts of ways. There's attack and dynamics. That's feel, right? That would be an example of simple as that. So part of the feel can be not making every note the same volume, right? Try doing 4 or 5 notes, and on the third note, hit it really hard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? Or the 1 in 3. Right? So you're attacking the notes differently. Vibrato is huge. Okay? So vibrato is... Now, I like to do like a forearm kind of thing. Some people will do it with their finger. I find that if you keep your fingers more stiff and you use your wrist, you get a lot more strength. It's a lot easier to do, and it's a lot more fluid. Now, there's different circumstances for different kinds of vibrato, but as a whole, that's what I like to do. That's just me, right? You may find something that works better, but it helps, because if you're trying to generate power this way, with just your finger, it can be tough, and it's tough to be fluid. Whereas if you do it like this, it's like a pendulum, and it has a natural rhythm to it. Right? It's nice and even, because your hand's going down, and then it's releasing up, and your arm is doing the heavy lifting or the heavy bending. Depending on your gauge of strings, it could be very heavy. So light gauges are good. All right, so feel can also be, right? So we got vibrato. So listen to the difference. Okay, now if I went, or that is a combination of quarter note bends and vibrato. So I went, right? So pull on the notes a little bit. Simple as that. You can do it real slow. Right? We're not even bending or doing the stuff that makes us want to throw our guitar out the window and our digits bleed. We're not even getting to that yet. So the quarter note bends. Now we can take those same notes and add real bends. Okay, that's without vibrato. Okay, I'm bending up to the note. I'm trying to get a whole step up. Okay, so that's one thing. You can add the feel, a little vibrato, a little love, a little sauce, a little grease, whatever you want to call it. You can also do things like reverse bends. That's a totally awesome thing with feel. Feel is great with that. You're doing a bend and then you pick it multiple times and bring it down. Sometimes you get up to the note. David Gilmour is super awesome for this. Pink Floyd, one of my favorite guitar players ever. You'll get to the note, hold it, then do the vibrato. Right, the big bend, that's a great thing with feel, because it's like you're really going for it, and it causes pain. And I think that suffering of your fingers wanting to bleed and get down to the bone, I think that comes across in those kind of bends. It's like, ouch, 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 ouch. And the listener's like, man, he's feeling that, because your face will show that you're in excruciating pain. So that's another thing. Let's see, where am I? We got phrasing, rhythm, right? Rhythm, that whole stuff. We got feel, and then call and response. Okay. I had to space that out. I'm like searching for it, scanning file. Oh, call and response. Okay, so that's what you'll hear in blues a lot. It's kind of where they put out a statement and then they kind of answer it. So that would be an example of, right? That might be our call, and then that would be our answer. It's very similar to the same phrase, but it adds maybe a little something at the end. So maybe do that back and forth twice, and on the end of the second time of doing a call and response, then throw in something totally different. So we got, right? So you kept the kind of theme going, and then you changed it up at the end to go somewhere, right? It's like a paragraph, right? You're starting with a topic, you're backing up the topic, and then there's a conclusion to it. So think if you're soloing in like, you know, like grammar, right? Or English or whatever your language is, Russian, and however they speak. It has a cadence to it. It has a rhythm to it. When you speak, there's starts, there's stops, there's the exclamation point or the question mark, the feel, right? There's the backing up your statement, the repetitive, you know, the topic. You're reiterating what you're saying through the call and response. And then there's a timing. That's like the poetry, right? There's a rhythm to it. If it was the same rhythm the whole time, it would be boring. So you mix it up. So again, this doesn't have to be like a technically proficient guide to playing amazing solos. This can be like, you know, you're at square one. You can only play very mediocre, let's say. Those are real world things that you can do on a simple, down to earth, you know, way of thinking of how to really add something, depth to what you can do, right? You can be inspired with your own playing or whatever, or take the inspiration from a great player and then apply it to what you can do. You know, we see all these great players and we think to ourselves, man, I'll never get there. But I'll tell you what, just having taught so many people, you can take somebody in 2 or 3 months and have remarkable improvement. Rhythm, call and response, feel, apply that at your own level, and you are on your freaking way.